Hey everyone, welcome back to On Purpose, the number one mindset and health podcast in the world. Thanks to each and every single one of you that come every week to listen, learn, and grow. Now, today's guest, I am super excited about. His name is 50 Cent, born Curtis Jackson, is an award-winning rapper, entrepreneur, actor, and producer from Queens, New York. Recognized as one of the most talented and prolific music artists of his time, the Grammy Award winner rose to fame with his record-shattering debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying. And I've got something interesting to tell you guys about that and share with Curtis himself as well. And then Jackson leveraged his star power to cross over with unparalleled success as an entrepreneur, actor, and producer. From Get Rich or Die Trying being one of the fastest selling albums in history to creating one of the most influential deals in hip hop with the sale of vitamin water, Jackson continues to break records. He currently has the number one show on Star's Power, in which he not only co-stars, but also serves as executive producer and director. He's carved out a thriving television and film career as both a best-in-class producer and star. And today we're talking about his new book, which is here, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Welcome to the show, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson.
Thanks for having me, man. You make me look, I'm like, how am I supposed to come behind that?
Well, I want to be honest with you, because not many people know this about me because of the work I do today, but I want to share two things with you before we start. So, Get Rich or Die Trying, I listened to it every single day. I was around 14 years old when it came out. I used to be a paper boy. I would go deliver papers. I'd put my headphones on and I would listen to your music every single day. I had your poster up on my wall. I had lyrics of yours up on my wall. And guess what? This is the best part. This is the best part. My wife used to have your calendar on her wall. So I'm coming out with all the confessions now. I'm coming out with all the but seriously, man, like sitting down with you, I was excited to meet you, and I know we can't right now, but yeah, you were a big part of my teenage life, man. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've created. I appreciate
that, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know what's interesting? I always say this, right? I said, my audience, I said, let's say your core audience was in college at the point of your release, right? Because at that point, they're experiencing adulthood at that point. And because they have the freedom to make decisions on their own, they party in every available moment possible at that point. And because they're out, whoever's hot, like musically at that point, becomes a part of that experience for them. Because it's what's playing and music marks time. So if you, I would say if a song came on and it was based on your relationship, like you was like, this is our song, the thing it would take you back to those feelings.
21 questions.
So different joints that matched up with different things. And I would look and go, okay, my audience, that audience now is grown and committed at this point. Those people that you impacted the hardest at that point, they are now committed by having children. If not by choice, they're committed by circumstance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a whole thing where I feel like they're not partying as often as they partied at that point. Like certain things you grow out of that. Like I'm not going to nightclub every night, but they will tune in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they occupy themselves, they schedule their life. So they go to work Monday through Friday, Saturday relax, Sunday is a good time for television.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good time for good entertainment in the house. And this is why I started to go towards the film and television direction. Because I feel like it's not even a new audience. I feel like it's my core audience, again, that I'm actually servicing with the entertainment. So telling stories that was like Power was a story. Courtney developed the ghost character based on things her father had said to her, things that her perception of who I am with the new information, because I was given the information from my past before any music took off. So it's more of the street element. She was saying, so you're this and that at the same time. And she created that flip-flop thing within Ghost's character. But they that whole project, it's like it's organic because It was me just being able to create what I wanted to create. And because of that, I accepted. I was only making $17,000 per episode.
Wow.
The first season of Power, I didn't care. I was like, I just want to do what I want to do. And Chris Albrecht, he understood. Like, he was like he is already rich, but why is he just taking this little, right? And I was like, no, I just wanted to get them pregnant with the idea.
Yeah.
And then once it started to perform very well, and then Christian was like, yo, we got something here. Because it's certain things, like they always have things on schedule. And you could tell, like, even within Hollywood, it's the business entertainment, the business part is the part that is really important. And you can look and see what the major studios are anticipating being a success. So they aid those things. They allocate expenses, marketing dollars, and budgets for those things to be. This is supposed to be their summer blockbuster. This is supposed to be their mid-year. This is supposed to be. So I'm like, look, when I look at the charts like that, I'm like, yo, don't call me if it's not what you expect. Don't call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not that. And it's certain things that you look at, like, it gives you a whole different perspective on it when you see it from behind the scenes in the schedule and like a business versus looking at it like just entertainment. And then my whole, just as it went, of course, I did the overall deal with them. Got $150 million out of it. You know what I'm saying? So in that deal, so you look and you go, forget the initial money, that first impact. I just want, let me do it the way I envision it.
Yeah.
And if it works, you can come. Like, there's a place for bad music. It's television. It's because the last place they spend the money in the budget, and the music supervisor, the director put together a dream sequence of music that he would want for his episode, and then the music director will bring a template of things that could go into those spaces because of how much those things cost.
Yeah.
And brings it down. That's why you hear people, you'll be watching a big production and something will come on and you'll be like, yo, who is that? I have no idea who that is.
But you've been playing the long game, right? Like you're playing the long game. Like, you're looking at creativity of what you want to create, what you're passionate about. Tell me how it felt, because you were in Hollywood where I am now. You were here recently because you were getting your star on the Walk of Fame. What did that feel like, that moment of having Eminem there? Again, I'm a huge fan of Eminem. What was that feeling like of getting that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, for being recognized for what you believed in and what you invested in?
Yeah, if you really, like, the whole time, like, people around there is like, oh, you're gonna get your star. I'm like, yeah. And it was like it was like, yeah, it's cool. It didn't really get exciting to me until that morning, because everybody was there. Like, everybody's there. I got Dre there, M there, even the guys from behind the scenes, Steve Berman and Paul Rosenberg, all the extra people is there. And I'm like, yo, oh, so everybody's here. And then it got exciting. Mary had texted me, right? And I texted Mary J. Blige. I'm like, yo, I'm nervous. I don't know why. I'm nervous, but I feel like I'm nervous. She's like, oh, yo, all right, you got that. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't write nothing.
Yeah.
Down, like, for what I would say. And I'm like, that it was exciting for me, man, because it's not the people that are important are just, no matter how much they're involved in your journey, that when they're around at points and it's not a negative perspective, they develop value to you. Like, you look and you go, in M's case, like, our relationship is one of those relationships that it'll never go away. Like, I place him where I placed my grandmother, because it's people that took care of you when you couldn't take care of yourself. He provided opportunity for me that allowed me to take off in the way that why would I need anything else after that?
Yeah, now, no, for sure, man.
It's exactly the opposite for so many other people, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because everybody else, you'll give them the opportunity, they'll look at you like, yo, like,
yeah,
give me more. Everything else. And I'm like, yo, get out of here. I don't understand that part. Like, it's like, it's really interesting, man, because me and him, we'll never have a problem. I don't care what he said. Like sometimes my grandmother would do stuff, and I look at my aunts because she said she's not speaking to her, and I'm like, she's not gonna like come to you and talk to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, mom just doesn't care. Like her life's not gonna change if you're not speaking to her.
Yeah.
You know, so with him, I place him in that space too, where like I'll always reach out and say, "What's up?" And then the cool part is he's so humble that there's almost a point where like every time I was on a record that had anything to do with Shady Records, I would get a call and he would ask me, "Could you do me a favor and do this?" And I'm like, I'm on your label. Yes, I can do that. I'll do that. Like, you know, he always just like approached it in a way that I never could attach him to anything that I was going through that was that felt like it was a bump in the road.
Yeah, I love hearing it. Oh, sorry, go on.
I would always go through those experiences and then look at him and go, he don't know what I just felt when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So it just was, even when I had discrepancies with people, the label, with people involved, the Interscope, different things, I try to explain it to him and look, and he go, and I know he didn't know, you know, because his career is so different from everybody else's that it's like, nah, it was like you being around, you can compare him to Michael Jackson. You know, how you would see things that were so like, it was ill. Like M's thing is completely different from everything else. And then with Dre, like Dre being there, it was cool, man. Like I still don't think like in that period it was a point where even before that, like the music business in general, prior to that, would be who made the hit. Okay, get me the guys that made the hit. I'm gonna make a hit. You see what I'm saying? Because what happens is because like the way Quincy and them would do it was they'd go, get me that bass player that was there, and get me that guy that plays the keys, the best guy that's on the keys, and get me these guys in there, and it's going to be like a jam session.
Yeah.
Until they kind of find something that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it evolved from that to who produced that record. Okay, give me that kid that did that record, because he probably only made one record.
Yeah.
But that sound like you like, yo, give me that kid, bring him here, put him in a room with these seasoned producers, and let's see what comes out of it. Because he's gonna have ideas and things in his head that he's able to get out.
If there's one thing we're all becoming an expert on during this time, I know it's online shopping. I'm now shopping for almost everything online and limiting any outdoor purchases. And if you want to truly master the art of online shopping, and that means spending the least amount of your money, Honey is what you need. Honey automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart, which makes online shopping finally feel as easy as it's supposed to be. It's a very simple process. Imagine you're shopping at one of your favorite sites like Target, Best Buy, Sephora, and when you check out, this little box drops down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds for it to scan for every promo code on the internet and watch the prices drop. I recently needed to buy some home theater equipment for a few family members since I know they're spending more time indoors. Things like the HDMI cables and speakers. I saved $64.78 simply by using Honey. It simply cannot be any easier to save money online. I'm always surprised I waited this long to start saving. Honey has saved its over 18 million members over $2 billion. Users love Honey. They have over 100,000 five-star reviews on the Google Chrome store alone. Not using Honey is literally passing up free money. It's free to use and installs in just a few seconds. Plus, it's backed by PayPal, so you know you can trust it. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/on-purpose. That's joinhoney.com/on-purpose. Especially during a time like this, it just goes to show how unpredictable the future is. Unfortunately, right now, life can be unpredictable and scary. Today's sponsor, my favorite insurance marketplace, Policy Genius, wanted to share 3 positive bits of news. Thousands of dogs and cats across America have found new homes. Everyone is a baker now, and fresh bread is the best smell ever. People across the world are acting with kindness, compassion, and heroism. There's now a huge demand for life insurance, and the only place I'd recommend is Policy Genius at this time. Policy Genius compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place. It takes just a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. This doesn't just save a lot of legwork. You could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policy Genius to compare life insurance policies. Once you apply, the Policy Genius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. They're in contact with the life insurance companies every day, monitoring developments and helping customers navigate every step. So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not sure where to start, head to policygenius.com. Policy Genius will find you the best rate and handle the process completely. You can stop worrying about life insurance and get back to baking your own bread, adopting a furry friend, or just being a kind and considerate human. Yeah, it went from people owning the space to discovery, right? It went from like people like basically owning the space to people being like, oh, I want to discover the new talent. I want to discover the new musicians and artists.
Bring that new thing, yeah. And then now you look, and because you could produce records on so many different formats now, like different things, like they could sample and chop it up and do different things to it. They don't actually work the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when they get in there with the guys that really been producing these records for so long, it's like, look, Scott Storch, he played keys on
Love Scott, yeah.
On in the club on Candy Shop,
yeah.
That's a little bit, a bunch of stuff.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Hit records, and then he had a really interesting career too, Scott Storch. Right?
He had a bit of a time. Right?
He didn't want to do it big. He wanted to be the biggest. He spent a lot of money, man. He ran out. I seen him one time, and I really was looking at him going, yo. We went to a recording studio one night. He had a Bugatti. Yeah, all of this stuff outside. I'm looking. He was, I think he was dating Paris Hilton at that time. Wow, man. I was like, yo, Scott is out of control.
Yeah. But hearing about you and Eminem, like that relationship and that connection, the way you explain it, I mean, it's so great as a fan to see that and hear that still.
Yeah.
Because it was such a formative partnership then. And I love what you said with the comparison you gave to your grandma, because your book, obviously, you dedicate to your mother and your nana. And so I wanted to ask you, like, what is it, what you dedicate to them specifically? And you talked about how even they're not here in their physical forms, but their love, support, and guidance continue to inspire you every day. What was the quality or the essence of what they gave you? Like, what was it that you feel is still living within you today that was so important from them?
Well, I think the biggest thing that they offered me was love. My grandma, like, she's the love of my life. Like, without any question, it was like the person that was very consistent. Like, they didn't have the same, like, you know, you look at people later, they go, well, what after the fact? What was this person like? Like, what did this person want? And then sometimes they didn't want anything. And that's even worse. Because not wanting to go anywhere in life or not wanting to do things, you'll go, it's tragic when you run into that. Like, you run into a person who just doesn't want to commit to anything or to work on anything. So you go, all of those people, when you look at them, you say, what did they want from that? And they go, nah, these people, they just wanted to love you. And those would be the people that you have extreme value for later when you look at the whole overall situation. Because so much, like, there's no such thing. When we pray for success, we don't pray for jealousy. We're not praying for envy. We're not praying for entitlement. And entitlement being the scariest part because it's growing in someone that you probably love or that you're cool with, right?
Yeah.
And you can't have success without those things. So there's a natural confusion built into things working.
Yeah.
And then now it changes how you interact with people, even on a personal level, because you're saying, who is she? What does she? Unless she has things that prevent you from even having thoughts. Like, she has so much money that you're not thinking that she's why would she be talking to me for money? She got all of this money anyway. Right? And then if she doesn't have those things, then that thing would block you from certain people if you're watching them and you see the temperament in different ways that they have that interest. And then you look and you say, this is tradition, right? Mm-hmm. Tradition says a man is supposed to be a protector, security, and support for his family. So some females, they'll come in and after you're around for a while, they'll look and their expectations will be visible. And this is not because they actually just wanted something from you, but because instinctively they start to behave like they're with you because they've assessed it and they're ahead of you in the relationship. So now their expectations are there because they're like we're going to be together. Yeah. And concept, and they'll start looking at you like they want those things. And then you'll look and go, okay, we're not going to be together because if you're not on the same page, you're going to look at it and just register that she expects things from you. But it's a gift and a curse, and you're pushing and pulling at the same time because it'll take time for those things to balance out, because for you to not be on the same page and those things to happen at the same time. Because emotionally, when there's references, a person have the ability to be with you without being with you. Like the person has the ability to be looking at your podcast and seeing your perspective on different things. And she could be there so often looking at your podcast that she's like, I know him. Yeah. I know so much stuff about him. And then from as soon as she stops looking at the podcast, she's on your Instagram. So she's looking and she said, I know him like the back of my hand. And then because she's ahead of you in the relationship, chances are you'll be doing everything at a snail's pace because you'll start to feel that energy. Feel like, whoa, like, are you going too far?
For those of you who have been listening for a while now, what's the app I use the most on my phone for reading? If you guessed Blinkist, you are correct. I just love it, and I know you will too. It's simply the most useful app on my phone and the ultimate life hack. You can now use it as your secret weapon for learning new things and getting ahead. I understand that it's hard to find time to sit down and read and learn more. With Blinkist, that's no longer the issue. Blinkist works on your phone, your tablet, or your web browser. Blinkist takes the best key takeaways, the need-to-know information from thousands of nonfiction books, and condenses them down into just 15 minutes that you can read or listen to. Blinkist is made for busy people like you and me who simply want to get the main points of a book quickly so you can start using that information to be of service right away. They also have an awesome audio feature which makes it easy to finish a book during your lunch break or while you exercise. 12 million people are using Blinkist right now. You guys know I usually use Blinkist while I'm in the back of lifts or elevators, but since I'm not traveling right now, I start to listen books as I work out. I recently started listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and we'll start Shoot for the Moon by Richard Wiseman next. With Blinkist, you get unlimited access to read or listen to a massive library of condensed nonfiction books. All the books you want and all for one low price. Right now, for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer just for our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/J, try it free for 7 days, and save 25% off your new subscription. That's Blinkist, spelled BLINKIST.com/J to start your free 7-day trial. And you'll also save 25% off, but only when you sign up at Blinkist.com/J. I don't know why we do it, but so many of us are clinging to our old razors. Too much hassle finding a new one, maybe. But seriously, why keep a dull, clumsy razor that barely works? That's why I'm excited to tell you about Persona razors. Shaving with Persona has been transformative, super affordable, and great replacement for my old razors just waiting to be tossed out. You guys know that I love that Persona's been in the game for almost 145 years. They understand beards and men's grooming. So it's no surprise that a lot of me and my friends are loving the men's 5-blade razor. This razor's got this quick rinse technology, making the shaving process so much faster and easier. The difference between my old razor and Persona has been light and day. You'll love it too. Order from Amazon today and get an extra 25% off your first order. Shipped directly to your door, zero hassle. Don't wait, go to Amazon.com/Persona and use my discount code PURPOSE1. That's Amazon.com/PERPOSE1 SONNA, and use the code PURPOSE1 for 25% off your first order. When you talk about visiting your old neighborhood, you say something pretty interesting. You say that I look at them like they're a version of me that hasn't actually blossomed yet.
Yeah.
Right. And when I hear that, it's quite an inspirational thing, because you see the potential. What are you seeing when you go back and you see people who are in that situation where you were given an opportunity and you didn't just take it, you made it, like, I think there's a big difference between taking an opportunity and taking it and then making it. And you did the second, like you went further.
I don't see the disadvantage in coming from that, because I think when you can assess it as a disadvantage, like people, like I had a conversation with a guy who was talking about my experience, like, but I lost my mom early. I don't know my father. Different things that he said, just the environment itself that you would be traumatized by what was going on. And then I looked at it and like, nah, that's just the way I grew up. It was not an optional circumstance. It was just what I was experiencing. And because I didn't see not having it in the very beginning as a reason why I couldn't have it, is what allows those possibilities to be there. That's like, even when I decided to write music, I was writing music full time, like I was all the time since 1997, right? So the difference is there's guys that are better than me because it's easier for them. They're talented, like it's a gift. So they can rap like we can speak.
Yeah.
Right? Now, while they can do that, you go, it proves hard work beat talent when talent's not working. Right? And the concept of, once you fall in love with something, if you passionately work on it, the discipline will allow you to become good enough. And this is fighters, all the boxers, right? They fall in love early, they start to love the sport, started doing it for so long that you naturally become good enough to be the guy.
Yeah.
Look, Floyd is a reflection of Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a reflection of Floyd Sr. Venus and Serena, a reflection of their dad. The Mannings, he had two sons. All of them got NFL quarterback ranks. Earnhardt, the race car drivers, they mad championship, mad wins with their actual car. You're getting comfortable being in the car at 150 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour. Somebody's driving you, right? So I think there's something in you having someone ahead of you. And even in my experience, though, I lost my mom at 8. Her decisions, I kind of caused her decisions, because she started hustling when I came. Like, at that point, teenage pregnancy wasn't as common as it is now. So the programs that we have set up provide the teens the ability to work and take care of the actual kid. So at that point, you would only get a blue card, your working papers, and you'd be allowed to work during the summer months. There was no other program for you to work. So
no support.
Your option was actually child support, or you could hustle and get what you can get out of the street. And then the upside was so much higher from street life at that point that she chose that. And then when she dies and I go into my grandmother's house and everything changes a little bit, I swear the only thing that I saw, the only references to success or financial freedom was people from my mom's life. Because I had 4 aunts, 4 uncles. I'm in the middle of that. This is what you got. My grandfather's income, he's so traditional that he just goes to work, come home, and gives my grandmother his check. The sacrifice is, he's so conditioned to sacrifice for us that, like, this is why I have so much fun hanging out with him, because he did everything for us.
Yeah.
When I said I'm going to my grandmother's house, it's because the house is not a home without her, but it's my grandfather's house. Like, he paid for the house, So I'm like, that's just the way it is. Like, I go, that goes back to the traditional thing we was talking about earlier about being the support, security, and the protector for his family. But the just my journey, period. I look and go, when through all the experiences, I look and go, there's no reason for you to not make it.
Yeah. I love what you said. It's not a disadvantage. I love that, because what you're saying is, it's not like I chose this life. This was the life that was given to me.
Right.
This is my experience.
It's unfortunate, the circumstances. Some people, they're born with a silver spoon, and everything's like, it's already there for them to do it. And even then, they don't have this weird. How do you define whether this person is resilient?
Mm.
They haven't had the experience. So this is the person that the stock market crashed and they jump off the side of the building because they can't even figure out how to function without the money that they always had. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're going, they're not. And then it's tragedy, a terrible moment at that point, and it's going to be good again. When things turn around, he's flat as a pancake on the sidewalk, and things turned around.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even the shares and the stocks and stuff that he actually had could just come back after he jumped, because the idea of not having it when you've had it the whole time is too much. You know what I'm saying? You look and you say, if anyone's career is long enough, they're gonna have some peaks and some valleys, some high points, some low points, and not necessarily through sales or through ratings or through anything. It's just how you feel in general. Like, artists can use painful moments to compel them to a place that is it's the most attractive position for them. Like, whether it's me being shot 9 times, or Kanye's car crash, or the relationship that didn't work for the R&B artists and stuff like that. Those things got them to a point where they could make something that was kind of special at that point. They was feeling something.
Well said.
Yeah. And I think those painful moments make good for artists. Like, there's just something about it that brings something out of them. And there's just in general, I think all of those situations build character. Like, it changes, who you are a little bit. When you're in life-threatening situations, you'll find your higher power.
Yeah, it's always in our pain that we find our potential, right? It's like when we're going through the worst times, that's when you find what you're actually made of and what your truth is and what your power is. And you talk a lot in the book about constructing your crew. And one of the lines really hit me in this, where you said that be extremely conscious of who you have around you. But this second part, you go, betrayal is never as far away as you'd like to believe. And I was like, whoa, that's a powerful statement, right? Betrayal is never as far away as you'd like to believe.
Really?
I'm intrigued, like, with someone like you you've experienced betrayal, you've experienced snitches, you've experienced all of that in your life.
Right.
How do you filter? Like, what's your test of figuring out whether someone's real or not? And what kind of levels do they take in your life?
You got to just try and get a read on a person. Like, anyone who's having successes will tell you that it's detrimental that they try and be a good judge of character. Like, even if you leave in the responsibility of traditional business in someone's hand, you got to look and say, is this the right person for me to leave this with? Because on street levels, where you would find that betrayal and these different things faster, there's what kind of person is this person? Is he a thief? Is he if he's a robber, he's a thief. I'd rather hang out with a liar, I'd rather be around a thief than a liar, because then he's still in my reality. Like, he's going to lead me in directions, and just that person that lies tells the police some other shit, and then come back and tell you another story. And then you come back and got all kinds of things going on in your mind when they come running through the door. There's so many. I had an environment that I grew up in. They said, you were strong. They taught us you were strong as the crew you surrounded with, people you surrounded. So you try to put together, only deal with a certain kind of person, like keep your circle, the right way. And then there's some truth to it. And I've even seen success with a more sophisticated approach to developing the crew. Look, and this won't be in the book, but Jay-Z, right? At the point that my music cuts through, and he'll say it came through like a hurricane, right? And he goes, things, you got to imagine being who he is, going through that. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a shift for him because he's already been one of those guys that they would match up with and compare to Nas and Biggie and all of that. But when that momentum is there, he's saying 12 platinum albums now. My first album sold 13 million records.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when that's happening, it's going, yo, he's like, he took the president position at Def Jam. Right? Now, while he's the president of Def Jam, the artist there got to rely on, he's the guy for you. Now I got you. I'm gonna make sure everything's right for you, blah, blah, blah. And he really did a good job over there. Like he really was supportive of Kanye, even in when the comparisons between me and Kanye when he was doing that.
Yeah.
On his actual what was it? He put out it was like a documentary thing, or so a documentary he was talking about that. No, in the book he talked about it being one of his wins against me. And it was because he won on the numbers, Kanye West versus 50 Cent. And I'm going, I thought it was me and Kanye. No, it was me, Kanye, and Jay-Z was in full support of it. You see what I'm saying? So it worked out. Now, look, you say in all those situations, it would be reason for more disrespect when you see Kanye get upset with them and say things publicly after you were that far in support of it. You see what I'm saying? But there's it's ill because crew became Jay, Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye. All of the Def Jam artists. The top Def Jam artists became the crew, and that was that crew that worked. And I could have did that at Interscope Records or Atlantic Records. I just didn't think to do it. He's a smart guy, man. You got to look. When a person make a decision, you look around because his maneuvering is bigger than the business portion of it.
Yeah.
Is what positions him as a bigger talent than the music itself, because the music was going to 1 million people 12 times.
Yeah.
Instead of it being, everyone at once. Like,
that's really smart. That innovative mindset and that strategic mindset. I mean, you have that strategic approach too. That's been a big part of your success. Is you're highly strategic. You really weigh up ventures. You don't just, I think people sometimes think that certain people are just obsessed with money, but you don't. That's not the only thing you make your decisions by. One of the things that I think that I love that you said in this regard was you said one of the secrets to getting what you want in life is creating the perception that you don't need a thing.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's interesting because and I love that. I love that stuff because I think a lot of people think like, oh yeah, no, if I want this, I'm gonna obsess over and this, and that's what people do with money. How have you been able to? What's that? Tell me about that mindset.
Look at this. When you look at everybody wants to do you a favor when you don't need one. So in concept, if you come around in your presentation, if you keep yourself together, like, look, it's not how expensive the clothes were. It's how well kept. Did you iron it before you put it on? You know what I'm saying? Like how well kept you are. And when you come through, a person sees that, and we would rather have that person next to us than someone who's just looked like a slob, like he just fell out of the bed, right? Now, in concept, that's one of the steps we talk about in the book. The other thing, when we say, if you think about how in your presentation, first how you present yourself. Two, when you don't need it. Even Bernie Madoff created the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. $65 billion in it. Because people would come to him and he would go, they ask for $5 million, they want to put $5 million in, and he goes, now my fund's full. And they go back and they know someone else who's already in the fund that is saying they're receiving 40% returns on it, and this guy's a genius. And they're going, I gotta get into this guy. You know someone can give me a call so I can get in?
Yeah.
I'll give him $10 million. You give him more money because the Ponzi scheme doesn't work if he doesn't keep getting more money to pay people out there. You know the money. So,
Yeah,
but in him not saying I need it. If you need it, if I told you, how could you get your hands on $65 billion? It's developing that aura where he knows something we don't know.
mm. Yeah, it's that mystery.
Yeah, and going, yo, no, that's cool. Like not being anxious about it. Like a guy, I've seen a guy come and say, yo, yeah, we're doing this thing. Oh man, this is gonna look because you knew, because you were around. I'll let you come in to this point, but I'm not gonna do anything more than that because I'm keeping this. I'm taking this ride for myself. Like I know what this is.
Yeah.
And they go, because he said, I really don't need money, but I'll let you put in this much if you want to.
Yeah.
And they go, all of a sudden the guy's like, yeah, it's even no problem when it feels like he's letting me in.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. It feels like it's an opportunity for them now.
Right. Instead of it's reversing it. Like everybody wants something. If they can, everybody will do you a favor if they can expect a bigger favor in return.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. We've got a few minutes left, man. So we're gonna do what we call the final five. This is a rapid fire round. So answers have to be one word to one sentence maximum. That's it.
Okay.
This is you in lyrics, man. This is you in music, so it's easy for you. So 5 questions left because I know we only got a few minutes left with you. So the first question, the final 5 is: what's the biggest lesson you've learned in the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months, stay in the house.
Yeah.
I learned to stay in the house because when first started talking about coronavirus, it was just something that someone can cough on you.
Yeah.
And since then, it's evolved from that to it could be on something and you can catch it, or you can now the animals. A tiger had it, and also so it's just what's the name? The biggest lesson is just when you respond right away.
Yeah, respond right away. That's great. Yeah, that would have changed a lot for a lot of people. So I love that. Second question: what's something you know about business that others disagree with you on? So what's something that you're so sure about, you're confident, but then other people wouldn't necessarily agree with you on that?
Well, I run on my own energy, and most people, what I mean by that is, I believe if I say, "Nah, this works," I know the audience that it would go to.
Yeah.
And what they were saying, business is knowing the consumer, right? Knowing who's going to actually consume it or purchase it, whatever. And I'll go, "Nah, this is going to work. I got this." Like, and I already have my head set that it's going to work, and I kind of project that energy, onto the projects until it actually do work.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great answer, man. That's Steve Jobs he used to talk about that, and he called it reality distortion field. So he knew that if he believed something, he could bend reality. Like he just had that feeling,
and make it.
Yeah, that he would make it.
Because you look at it, and when you believe, when I believe it is ill, because like sometimes even in an environment when we didn't have finances, I would still be someone that they follow.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you're doing the wrong thing, I'm going to take them to do the wrong thing, and they're coming behind me to do it. You see what I'm saying? So like, when you're doing that, it's like anyone who's passionate with an idea could potentially find follow. Yeah. Whether the person is just lost, looking for someone to follow, or the person is a smarter guy deciding to go with your idea because your passion is there, and he's looking and go, no, he did know information I didn't know, so maybe he's right all the way, and I don't want to not be a part of it.
Yeah, dope answer. I love that. Question number 3: what's one thing in life that you used to chase when you were younger, and now you're like, I'm not chasing that anymore?
People don't realize how much women mean to the universally how we interact. Everything, even the first time when I said how you start to pay attention to your clothes. The kids, when they want the Jordans, or they need the Michael Mary. certain genes or certain things that's happening, and they want to be conscious and they want those things. Those things relate to their identity and directly relate to how women perceive them.
Yeah.
And it's the beginning stages of why they started hustling. It's why they started into the field. And because of tradition, it says that the man is supposed to be support, security, and a protector. So I think we're on two different waves. Like the women are already, when she's a baby, they offered her a baby, a dollhouse, a cooking set. It was teaching her nurturing, right? And a traditional role that a woman would play in old days, right?
Yep.
So her interest would be in having a family, having a home, and raising kids at some point. This is why even if she's a career woman, she'll still have that want or that need to do some of those things. And then if you said, why is the man thing is everything that they give us as a toy early on connects to finance. Whether it's cars or trucks or cars, it'll be the actual cars that are riding down the street. It'll be if it's a NASCAR, it means be a race car driver. If it's a police car, it means be a police officer or a fireman, be a fireman or work at the health station. It's all things connected to finances and jobs on that front, because the male, I think, is kind of aimed at the financial world. Because it's been that way forever. Yeah,
for sure. Awesome. All right, question number 4. If you had to start all over again from ground zero, what's the first thing you would do? If you had to start from scratch, what's the first thing you'd do?
From ground zero?
Yeah, from scratch, like you had nothing again. Like what would you do? What's the first thing if you had to start all over again? What's the first thing you'd do now?
Well, I've been trying to look for the kind of person that I could delegate my responsibilities to.
Okay.
Because look, the creative side, like I always said this, look, behind the scenes, I never said this in public, but behind the scenes, we would always say, like, I wish Tony Yayo was 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Because if Yayo was 50 Cent, I would have handled the business. I would have just been doing that because he's the guy. And it would have easily been, it would have worked out easy like that, a lot easier than if it's, because I had to go do the music and then be that at the same time.
You had to be the artist and the business person. And that's, but there's truth in that, like what you said, because a lot of artists don't want to be the strategist,
right?
But sometimes then no one ever sees your art because you never got it out there, right?
Yeah, and it's different things. Like you look at points, mistakes. I think like in the climate that we're in is different too. But like particularly the future. What's the one that tape you put out with March Madness on it? Dirty Sprite, the Dirty Sprite tape. That shit was so good that the next tape that he put out kind of smothered it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he needed, when you make something that is special, it needs time to resonate. Like they gotta really listen to this and go, yo, nah, this is, because what they're gonna do when they want to get rid of you is they're gonna compare you to yourself. They say, nah, it's cool. The new stuff is cool, but it ain't like his first joint.
Yeah. Everyone always compares. Yeah, for sure, man. 5th and final question. Last question I'm going to ask you. These have been great answers, by the way. 5th and final one, because of the book name. Hustle harder, hustle smarter means what? What does that mean to you? Because I know it means something specific to you.
And this book is like, once you deem yourself a hustler, right? Then that means this is the way you function. This is your lifestyle. This is not to achieve a specific amount of money or get to a certain level and then just stop. Like, I'm never going to stop. Like I always said, I'm running through an endless tunnel. Like, it's like anybody that lives within the entrepreneurial spirit understands it, because there'll always be a new idea. There may be less physical involvement because you're not running around doing the things that you would be doing, because you're getting older and stuff like that. But the money will be running around doing it without you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be invested in new ideas and stuff like that. And it's just a part of, it's not even about more money. It's when you look around, I already have the things I want. I have them right now. The choices when I had made in the very beginning were based on my journey has been. I had a small space that I was staying in. It was about $800 a month. And I came back from the first tour with $38 million. So you go, the Mike Tyson's house, when I bought the house, you make that kind of money. If you don't figure out how to spend it, they're going to take it. You see what I'm saying? And at times when we got all the money here, and you go, well, should you buy it? Yeah, you should buy it. It'd be good for you. You know, you buy the property and stuff like that. And then you go, place is 55,000 square feet. And then you go, that walking from the left side of the house to the right side of the house was like walking down the full New York City block. Do you understand? Like, so I was like, what? It's a party house. The only time you're using it to its full capabilities is when you're having a real party at a nightclub in the center of the house.
I remember the episode of Cribs, man. I remember it well.
1,500 people. If it's not that, there's no possible way for you to utilize that space the right way. And then things will break because you didn't use it. So you go turn on the lights, and because you haven't been over there, the lights are flickering, and you're going, yo, somebody over here to change this. You know, and it's just a lifestyle choice, and it comes from not having the space. You may look at these really nice estates and say, oh, wow, that's beautiful. Now, a person who's experienced it might say, nah, I want something really fly. Like, I want the Jetsons, but I want 3 bedrooms. I want 4 bedrooms. You know what I'm saying? Livable space. And they just know themselves enough to know that they won't utilize that stuff. Oh, but it's all lifestyle choices, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Awesome, man. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smart. Everyone go grab a copy of the book. Thank you, man. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it, man. It was good to hang with you. And I hope when I come to New York, I can come meet you finally. Or when you're
we gotta kick it. We'll meet face to face when you come to New York.
Yeah, I would love that, man. That would be awesome. I really appreciate it. Hey everyone, my name's Jay Shetty and welcome to my YouTube channel. Every week I'm sharing 3 videos that are going to help you feel more fulfilled, feel more happy, and more successful. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can find out about the videos as soon as they launch. Press the like button and leave a comment, and let's keep making wisdom go viral together. Make sure you subscribe.